Hi, everyone. This is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman. And today we're going to be talking about a whole lot of energy that's coming at us in November. So, this is going to be kind of fun and exciting. Um, there are a lot of energy that's coming at us in November. And so, we're going to talk about all of that. Of course, the first one started tonight with the new moon in Scorpio. But we're going to talk about several other things as people start jumping on and joining us. We are so excited. Um, um, let's start with our new moon in the sign of Scorpio. Um, this one is one that's hit people really hard. I would say, hi, Miss Lily. Um, Today, it's one of those like people are really kind of having a little bit of an adjustment with this energy. So I think that's like really cool. Um, this Scorpio lunation is really an incredibly important cycle. We have our first eclipse in our Taurus Scorpio axis, which kind of kickstarts kind of our coming up into our 2 year eclipse season on the Taurus Scorpio axis. So that's kind of like coming in at us. Things are changing and shifting. Hi, Miss Carmen. Glad to see you this evening. All the planets will be traveling through Scorpio, will be opposite Uranus in Taurus, creating this interesting kind of light and water aspect or dynamic with what's going on. So at times, you're going to feel like you're going to have to add some light or kind of like dim your light a little bit. And then this water aspect is going to kind of add that to it as well, kind of like looking through a flashlight, looking through a pond of water. So you're going to see the energy shifting and changing. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit easier shift. Sometimes it could be a little bit harder. And it just really depends on where you are in your life. It doesn't mean that it's good or it's bad or anything else. It just means some people are stuck in some areas. So you might see someone kind of like skate through something. You're like, oh my gosh, they don't have the same issues I do. Good, because they are not meant to have the same issues you do. But you might find someone else, something that was easy for you, they're going to start faltering in it. And it's not a judgment. It's just one of those, that's the way it goes. It's something that they're dealing with. And so that kind of really helps our energy in this aspect. Let's see. Our new moon has a strong Scorpio energy. Uh, because we also have the sun and the moon in the sign of Scorpio. So it's going to, like I said, be really, really intense. The ruler of the new moon is Mars. So it's one of those, we've got this Scorpio, very powerful sign, which is kind of like our house sign or kind of like where we feel comfortable, where we feel really led to go into kind of like this easy energy. But with that Mars energy to it, we are going to feel really, really driven and really don't want to take no for an answer. So it's one of those people are going to feel really pushed, really energetic, kind of keep moving forward, kind of keep going. With Mars in Scorpio, people are just going to kind of crave certain things. And so I was talking to a friend of mine, and all of a sudden she was like, oh my gosh, I have to have a hamburger just like right now. And it was like, I just laughed because I was like, that's your new moon. It's one of those, it's happening. So everybody kind of gets it at a different angle. Let's see. Mars in Scorpio is not really pushy, like maybe like Mars in Aries. Mars in Scorpio takes its time, but you're going to kind of just all of a sudden just pop and everything's going to fall into place. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is what I should be doing. So you're going to feel that energy more deeply. And that's kind of what Scorpio does, is kind of like this deep energy or these deep thoughts, this deep change into ourselves. Hi, Miss Myra. Mars will have a strong push to kind of like this quest to win any battle. When we do whatever it takes to kind of go deep and really look under every stone, kind of like I want to look under everything. I need to like look at all aspects of this incident or this event, and it's like I need to look at it from every angle, every possibility. Where am I at? What am I doing? All of those things, and kind of coming in with that. Like I said, Scorpio's waters run really deep. Scorpio rules over kind of the underworld, but it's not necessarily what most people think of, like death or hell or whatever else. It's kind of more purgatory, which is really a place of deep transformation and reconciliations. Purgatory is where we go to release what it no longer sustains our growth and movement forward in our life. Let's see. And this is kind of gives us a chance to kind of like look at it, change or modify and become wiser. Kind of like, oh, this is where I did something wrong, or this is where I need to take blame for this. Most people really fear purgatory as kind of like a place where things are rotting and decaying. But really, it's about changing their inner constitution, kind of like, what do I want to set the limits on myself? What are the boundaries I want to set to me? What are the things I choose to look at? What are the things I want to do or create? If we kind of stay with the status quo, because that's what most people are like, I don't want to change. I want everybody else to change. I want you to change. I want you to change. The real inner change is when we kind of look at it for ourselves. So know that that's where it is. Most people fear most people true fear is this deep change or looking at our fault in each situation. But with Scorpio at work, it's not about preserving the kind of the status quo. It's about working through things through this deep transformation process and kind of from one state of being to another. So it's kind of like this deeper look into things and kind of like, where am I at with this? Where am I going with this? So this is going to be really interesting. Let's see. True power has nothing to do with control. So a lot of people, and I've been dealing with this probably the last like 3 or 4 days, with a lot of narcissistic energy, kind of like really amping up and choosing to kind of like control other people. And really, I want you to listen to me. I want you to do what I have to say. All of that kind of stuff. That really narcissistic energy is really on the rise. But true control is not about. True power is not about control. It's of controlling other people's life circumstances, their choices for them, any of that stuff. It's not about that. True power is about having the inner strength to navigate through your own issues, through your own mistakes, and through your own fears. It's an inner kind of battle. It's not outside. Control is just literally controlling this. It's not about controlling everybody else. And this makes this a really kind of changing energy. And that's why this new moon is really, really powerful. But then we've got some other things that are coming up kind of really, really soon. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. Our new moon in Scorpio, that is exactly opposite Uranus, the planet that's kind of like the unexpected. Whatever you thought you were going to get, you're not going to get it. You're going to get something else. Uranus comes in with this very interesting kind of plot twist right at the end. Whatever that has been lurking in the back of your conscious mind is now will really come to light. Please hear me on this. This is not about exposing or pointing fingers at anybody or revealing something that's so obvious or striking or kind of hurting someone else. It's really taking that true look at yourself. What do I require changing? What do I require modifying about myself? What are the things that I want to change? Our outer planets are always a heads up about knowing what's better, or so we may feel like we are like making welcome changes and kind of changing our plans to our best solution. So that's kind of like this new moon energy, kind of like, where are we at with all of this? So let me pull a couple of angel cards for you guys and get us just a little bit more information about this new moon. Like I said, spiritual growth. This whole process of November is really about spiritual growth. If you get to November 30th and you go, wow, I'm exactly who I was on November 1st, you lost everything. You did not do your work, and you didn't do what you were meant to do. And so it's one of those, that's kind of the cool part, is like, do your work, do your stuff, and not looking at everybody else. Trust these planets. Trust the energy that you feel. When you feel overwhelmed, take some time to yourself. When you feel like things are going right, trust that energy. Kind of trust your inner instincts with what's going on. This is going to make it much easier for everybody. So just understanding this is where we're at. Hi, Miss Angela and Miss Sandra. We also Starting November 5th, we have Mercury in the sign of Scorpio. Mercury's completely out of retrograde, excuse me, as of November 2nd. So we've got that energy coming in. Sorry. My throat is just tickling tonight. So let's try some water. Okay. See if I can talk again. This just makes me laugh. I know it sounds funny, but that's the way I am. I laugh at the weirdest things. I really do. So, okay. So we've got Mercury in the sign of Scorpio as of November 5th. And it's kind of been in the Libra sign since August 30th, which has kind of been kind of very diplomatic, very easygoing, kind of what's coming up next, kind of just, it's been really easy. Unlike that, Mercury in Scorpio is not about being nice, has no consideration to what's nice or where people want to, like where you think you want to go. It's all about getting to the bottom of things. Like I said, looking under every rock, everything, kind of like, I need to find out. I need to know someone's why about this. I need to know someone's energy with this. I need to understand all of this. So that's really important about this energy. Let's see. The next 3 weeks are going to be kind of all of us kind of speaking our truth, saying what we mean and meaning what we say. So this is going to bring in people just kind of like blurting out their truth. And you're going to see this kind of more globally, just all of a sudden, just kind of someone goes, blah, 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 and you're just like, oh my gosh, I never thought he would say that, or I never thought she would say this. And you're going to feel that many times. You may have it happen to you. Just all of a sudden, the truth kind of just, you can't even help yourself. It just kind of just pops out. So just know that this energy is out there. And like I said, it's a really interesting time to be looking at politics or when people do interviews or anything like that. It's like just that truth pops out. So the first card I pull for Mercury in Scorpio is the card Listen. This is the really cool part, is to kind of really listen to the words that people are saying, kind of what is the energy behind it, and then really listening to the words. I will tell you that most times people really don't listen very well. What they're really trying to do is they're listening to your story so they can one up your story. You're talking about a fender bender that you had. Well, they're going to talk to you about when they had a bigger accident or something else happened to them, or something else happened to someone that they know. So it's kind of like they're really not listening. They're just talking. They want to like one up your story. And that's where it's going to kind of get like, it's not going to work. Let's pull one more card for Mercury in Scorpio. This one is coming forward. There's a serenity. There's a peace in this energy as it comes forward. There's a peace in this energy of just knowing like, we're going to speak our truth. We're going to hear other people's truth. It's kind of just be really out there, ready to go, kind of like what's going to happen next. It's going to bring in this really peaceful energy for a lot of people. Also on November 5th, we have Venus in the sign of Scorpio. Hey, Miss Gigi. If y'all have any questions about this, y'all chime up and ask a question. I'll be more than happy to answer it. About any of this energy that we're talking about for November. So any questions you have about November energy. So November 5th, we have Venus in the sign of Scorpio. November 5th, Venus leaves Scorpio and we've kind of stay with this energy of this Capricorn energy in kind of basically until March 6th. And it's going to be like this 4 months of Venus in Capricorn. And Venus usually spends 1 month in each sign. And this is going to kind of bring in some different energy. But basically, Venus goes into retrograde, so it kind of like looks like it's slowing down. So it ends up, instead of staying 1 month in each sign, it's ending up staying in one sign for 4 months. So it's going to bring a lot of change with that. This is going to be a very intense Venus energy retrograde, and it's going to be really difficult for different people for different reasons. In the coming months, Venus, Mars, and Pluto will line up for a fatal love affair. It's kind of like we've got this really forceful energy with all three of these big planets in a complete line. And it's going to force us to get real about what's really truthful about us, what we want to bring into the world, where do we want to go. I also feel this is something that I've seen in the last few clients of people looking for their life purpose. What am I supposed to create in this world? What am I supposed to do in this world? How am I supposed to do this? So this is really, really powerful of kind of like, where are you supposed to be and what do you truly want to accomplish in your life? Be prepared for this intense kind of report card from Venus in retrograde, until we kind of make some mental notes of what is happening around us and what are the themes in our lives and what do we want to change in our upcoming years. So let's do a couple of cards about Venus in the sign of Capricorn. And this, like I said, this is going to be there for quite a while. The first one coming up is soulmate. And Venus is all about love and these connection to other people's. And it doesn't always mean getting married or having a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever it is. It's kind of soul connection with other people. It's this soulmate connection with other people, with friends, that sort of thing. So it's kind of really going to be this very powerful, very kind of push energy with stuff. So it's going to bring in a lot of changes, like I said, in the love department. And it could be that you end up with a new friend or you end up with a new boyfriend or possibly a new husband. And then the next one I get is harmony. And this is all about working through it. I'll get to your question in a second, Carmen. So this is all about that harmony, that really playful energy, that really, like, as long as we keep moving, we're going to feel this harmony of what's going on. Once we stop, it's going to go away. So we really, really, really got to push this energy of kind of bringing in this harmonious energy for us. So Carmen is asking, how does it affect with people with Capricorn in their 12th house? So kind of your 12th house, I'm trying to figure out. You put me on the spot here. Okay. Your 12th house is all about endings. So this is kind of for you. If you've got Capricorn in there, this is all about like ending and closures and looking at things that have ended and how did they end, and kind of like if there's any old karma that you've got to get rid of or and push away from. That's what we're talking about. This is going to kind of bring in these changes of what do you want to see or how do you want to kind of bring in something different. So that's kind of where we're at with Venus in the sign of Capricorn. So I think it's Arceli is asking, how does this affect the career aspect in Scorpio? This is going to want you to kind of like that deep energy of bringing in change into your career aspect. So this is what you really want to understand. This is all about kind of this energy of, I want something that's tangible. I want something that's going to make me feel happy. It's going to be, I want something that's going to make me like the energy is deep, where I really, really want to go with this, where I really want to enter this energy. That's what's going to happen. That's the part that's going to be like, wow, this is where I want to go with this. And if you've had a job that you're kind of like, it's a paycheck or it pays the bills or something like that, you're going to be like, I don't want this anymore. I'm kind of tired of this energy. I'm tired of this connection here and wanting or desiring a whole bit more than what you're getting right now. We're going to move on to Mercury in being conjunct with Mars. I did post on there, and I've got it on the sidelines as well. I am going to be celebrating my 10th anniversary in my business. I'm so excited. I did a video, and if you're interested in joining, I'm going to be giving out some gifts, 10 gifts. I'm so excited about this. So if you're interested in participating, go to the link, kind of listen to the video, and do what it tells you to do, and you will get on my list to possibly win a couple of items. So let's talk about November 10th. This is about Mars conjunct with Mercury. This is kind of like our second time that Mars and Mercury are meeting in their current cycle. Mars had its first kind of like rendezvous in Libra on October 9th when Mercury was in retrograde. And then it's kind of like, here we go, one more time. Mars is going to ignite something inside of us, a new idea, a new, like, where do we want to go? What's going to come up for us? What's going to come up next? And then it's going to kind of feel us kind of like exploring to figure it out. Like, I want something more. Where is it at? And that's kind of what we're talking about, Arceli, is like this deeper look. Like, I don't want just any job. I want something that makes me feel important or makes me feel like I'm making a change to the world. Something really, really deep. Let's see. Mercury and Pluto will square off later on. Mercury pretty much has figured out, like, kind of with all of this energy with Mercury, it's kind of helping us figuring out why we want to do things. And now it's kind of like, how do we make that happen? This is what I want. How do I make that happen? And so that's kind of what we're moving into on the 10th. So that's going to kind of feel this energy of like what's coming in at us. Let me pull a couple of cards for this one. The first card I get for Mars conjunct with Mercury is all about studying. So now you figured out what possibly you want to do, or you have some ideas, kind of start looking at this. And I often tell people, kind of look at what that job considers. What is that job going to entail? What is that job what are you going to be doing during the day? Are you going to be talking to people all day and that's not what you like to do? Or is it something that you want something else? Kind of like, where are you going with this energy? Let me do another card real quick. Okay. Intentions, setting your intentions of finding what kind of like resonates with you and resonating with what is important for you to create in your world. What is it that you really want to create, and setting your intentions. It's not the time to like quit the job tomorrow and go for this. It's kind of working towards that, kind of doing the study. Is there classes you need to take, or is there something that you need to do, or learn something else? Like, what is the part, kind of moving into that energy really, really well. It's going to make things move much easier. Then on November 19th, we have our full moon, but we also have a lunar eclipse at the same time. And this is all in the sign of Taurus. This is the first eclipse in the Taurus Scorpio axis. And this is going to be a very important one. Like I said, it's setting the energy for the next 2 years of an eclipse cycle. An eclipse cycle is so many eclipses, and it's kind of like they're always in the same sign, and then we'll change signs and do several in the next sign. So it's kind of really pushing this energy. Our lunar eclipse is going to be square Jupiter, which is kind of all about setting our priorities in the right energy. And then kind of Pluto kind of pushes its energy in there, and it's kind of like, what is our inner drive? Usually once you find like your life purpose, you do it all the time because you have this drive, like, this is what I was meant to do. This is where I was supposed to go. This is all of this stuff. So that's going to escalate that drive of, I want to create this in my world. I so want to create that in my world. I want to create something else. I want to do this a little bit differently than I've been doing in the past. So it's going to create that energy for a lot of people. Setting our priorities. We're also going to kind of, right after this. Okay, so let me pull a couple of angel cards, and we'll do a full moon with our lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus. And I got to have the cards the right way. Okay. Eclipses are all about healing and pushing our energy forward. It's kind of like Where do we want to end up on the other side? Where do we want to go on the other side? So this is going to bring in some healing for us. Things that have kept us from what we really want to do in our past is going to kind of leapfrog us forward in where we want to go in the future. And adding that energy to what's coming in is, like I said, and it's going to push us to do things that we would normally go, that's not really my thing, or this isn't really where I want to go. Our next card is answered prayers. And this is all about getting the answers that you've been praying for. You've been praying for these answers. Like, I don't know where to go with this, or I don't know what my life purpose is, or I don't know what I want with this. These are the answers. All of this is happening because there's so many of us asking these questions. Where do we want to go? What do we want to do? Where do we want to end up in this life? So this is going to kind of push this energy. Next, on November 21st, our sun enters the sign of Sagittarius. We're only going to talk about this a little bit because I'll do a whole bunch on Sagittarius right around that time frame, right kind of like that last week in November. So let's see. Our sun enters the sign of Sagittarius, and Sagittarius season is going to be one of the most anticipated and sought after astrological seasons out there. Basically, because in the US, we're celebrating Thanksgiving and the holidays coming in, and filled with anticipation and hope. And there's a lot of energy in all of this. It's going to bring up a lot of really positive energy, really overwhelming energy for a lot of people. So this is going to be like a really great energetic happening for most of us. So kind of as we kind of move into Sagittarius, it's kind of like everybody kind of calms down. And I've often thought it was really interesting because we've got this Sagittarius Sagittarius energy coming in kind of like November 21st, but a lot of people are already starting. Like, I was out in a couple of shops today and there's Christmas everywhere and it's all this kind of stuff. And it's kind of like we're kind of pre-jumping our Sagittarius energy, our Sagittarius season to kind of move things forward. And it's one of those, it's not maybe necessarily us, but there's a lot of energy to play out there. So it's one of those, there's a lot of people that want this to be a time that we start pushing our energy, that we start pushing where we want to go and spending money that they want us to spend in areas that they want us to spend it in. So this is kind of something that I've noticed for kind of a while, which is going to be really interesting as this energy plays out for a lot of us. So let's do our kind of like an overview of, and if y'all have any questions, please post your questions. If this is kind of like coming into our Sagittarius season. So let me pull a couple of cards and get us a little bit deeper. The first card I pull is about meditation. And I know everybody's like, oh, you always talk about meditation. Meditation is the number one easiest way to start to get connected to the other side and start amping up your own abilities. Everything that you do, all of your abilities, everything that you came into this life with, your gut feeling about things or your intuition about, oh, we shouldn't do this or we shouldn't go there. That's what moves this energy forward. That's kind of the cool part of this, is it's pushing our energy forward so that we can bring up what's coming up next and kind of our own inner answers, not waiting for someone else to tell us what to do, our own inner answers. Also, Sagittarius season is bringing in kind of our body care and kind of caring for us. So many times we are caring for other people and we're kind of pushing their energy and kind of like cheering them on. And this is kind of a way to kind of like, hey, you get a cheer. You get to do this as well. You get to kind of push your own energy and take care of you for a change. So this is something really important for a lot of us, kind of taking care of ourselves. Y'all don't have any questions, let me see. I've got some really amazing things that are coming up. I've got, I am going to reschedule my autumn group reading. We're looking at some dates right now. So getting my team together, trying to get some dates for doing that. I was sick during the time frame and I couldn't I couldn't do that. Self-love. Yes, Miss Carmen. You need lots of self-love. And then we've also got my 10-year anniversary coming up on November 11th. And so I'm so excited about that one. And then on top of all of that, we've got our New Year, New You group reading. Tickets are on sale now. This is going to be in Sugarland. We are still looking at some places, kind of as we get tickets more sold, we're going to kind of have an idea of like where we want to go with this, or how big do we need to have the space. But the New Year, New You group reading is really kind of fun. One of the things that is kind of great, I pull a thank you, Miss Carmen. I love doing the New Year, New You. So I do an angel card reading for every month of the year. And if that's your birthday month, then you get a special message from your guardian angel, what they want you to know during that time frame. So I do this for everybody. And then we kind of open up the floor of asking all the questions, like, what do you want to ask? Where do you want to go? Kind of what does your 2022 look like? All of this stuff kind of coming out. If necessary, we'll take a break in the middle and then we'll come back to it. We're going to be at it for 3 hours. So that's going to be really fun, kind of answering a lot of questions about 2022. 2022 has a much different energy. I've already been doing kind of like scoping out kind of planetary wise, scoping out a lot of energy for 2022. And that's going to be very different from 2021. It's not just like a continuation, because that's what it felt from 2020 to 2021. It's almost like same year, different energy. Like it's almost the same. It's not much different. 2022 is going to change and shift energy really, really fun, really, really fast as well. I thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. And I know that we'll be talking again soon. We will see you soon. Marlene, I think this answers your question. If I have enough, um, if I have enough interest, I will do an online virtual group reading for 2022. And those will take, I usually have a lot of people out of Arizona. I have a lot of clients in Arizona. So if I have enough interest to do that, I will definitely open up a virtual group reading for 2022, and kind of do one virtually. And kind of it has the same energy, and we would do the same thing. We would just kind of do like a round robin questions. It's easier when you do it online. But if y'all have any other questions or anything else, please ask me. You can always email me at ruth@ruththeresa.com, and I will be seeing you. Actually, my next meditation will be November 11th at 11 a.m. in the morning, and we will be doing that for about 15 minutes. So that's my next meditation online. I'll see you guys then. Y'all have a great night.